Hey, good evening, friends. This evening's bedtime story, Little People Big Dreams, by Isabel Sanchez Vergara, is featuring David Bowie. And David Bowie is a musical artist, and I didn't know much about him at all. But he certainly is a guy who's super popular, super famous, and this is how he got his start. His little dream that became a big dream that became who he is now, David Bowie. Little David lived with his family in a tiny house on an ordinary street in London, but he had ideas that would take him out of this world. So just like a lot of people, tiny house in a regular town. At school, David loved music and dance classes. He had a real talent for singing, and his dance moves were from another planet. His teachers had never seen anything like it before. So even at a young age, they knew David was something special. Just like your teachers know you're something special. David spent hours listening to his brother's rock and jazz albums. David was so inspired by the power of music that he started to write his own songs. That's a record player down here, and they're coming back in fashion, so maybe your parents have a record player again. David studied art and music and design at school. Sometimes his teachers were not sure if he was a boy or a girl, but David was just delighted to be himself. David doing some painting. One day he got into a silly fight with his friend George, who punched him in the eye, and that punch changed David's look forever and made him strangely magnetic. It changed the way that his eye looked. He could still see, but made his one pupil really dilated, so it looked like his one eye's bigger than the other, or a different color than the other. David and George remained friends, and they formed a group called the Conrads. The rest of the band was happy playing at weddings, but David, he wanted to become a star. He jumped from band to band looking for a chance, dreaming that one day all the lonely kids on planet Earth would sing his songs out loud. It was David. Just kept trying to find the right way to make it big. But David knew that a great singer needed to be a great performer too. He decided to mix his music with the most spectacular outfits and dance moves ever seen on stage. Remind you of anybody? David wrote a song about a lonely astronaut, and it became his first big hit. The whole world listened to this song the day that man first walked on the moon. Let's see. David. Next, David transformed into an alien rock star called Ziggy Stardust, the coolest space invader the world has ever seen. Dressed as Ziggy, he finally made it to superstardom. So he's kind of a musical actor. Look at all of his different looks. He would change his looks for the different songs that he had, the different music that he had. He wasn't afraid to try new things. David wasn't sure where he was going from there, but he knew that it wouldn't be boring. He kept reinventing himself, and that's what made him David Bowie. For more than 40 years, he kept exploring new galaxies. Filled with futuristic sounds, he inspired generations of fans to find their own voice and dare to be different. And by never being afraid to be himself, little David became the most unique star who ever fell to earth. And that is the story of David Bowie's. When he was a little person, he had that big dream. And I hope that all of you have sweet and big, wonderful dreams, and may they all come true. Kiss your beautiful brains. Kiss your loving hearts. Look in the mirror when you brush your teeth tonight and say, hey, good looking, because you're all good looking, just the way you are. And we'll see you tomorrow. Thank you. Thank you for the privilege of reading with you and sharing time with you. Thank you.